A very good afternoon to one and all present here. So we have a total participation of 41 people. Shantanu Mishra speaking from IDEX, and I'll be presenting you I'll be the presenter for the outreach session from IDEX side, and I have with me Mr. Hari Prasad, who will be from the Defense Space Agency. Is my voice loud and clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Yes, it's clear.
So in a while I'll be sharing my screen. If it is okay, please give a respond to that. If my screen is visible so that I can begin with the PPT. Okay.
It's visible.
So I'm beginning with the outreach for Aditi 2.0, that is acing development of innovative technologies with IDEX, and the Defense India Startup Challenge, the 12th edition, the outreach for that. So a very good afternoon to all the people attending this outreach session. So here we are going to, in the beginning, we are going to talk about the IDEX as such, and the IDEX framework that has been envisioned, and how the new chapter of IDEX, that is the Aditi scheme, will become a game changer in the expected time. So I'll take you through the history that has happened ever since 2018. In 2018, India was the world's largest defense equipment importer, which was something that we found out, and as a government initiative, something to foster innovation and involve our startups and MSMEs and innovators and R&D institute was thought of. So the gaps that was there with reference to the members of the ecosystem, that is our startups and MSMEs, and the various services, that is the nodal agencies for IDEX, was bridged with this aim of Aatmanirbharta. So the background of this, in the background of this, the Innovations for Defense Excellence Framework was built, and it was implemented by Defense Innovation Organization. This was launched by Honorable Prime Minister in 2018 with an idea to achieve self-reliance, foster innovation and technology development in the defense and aero sector. So Defense Innovation Organization is a Section 8 company which is basically implementing this IDEX framework, which has the objective of fostering innovations involving our private sector, or I'll say private sector led innovations and their participation with a collaborative ecosystem of various R&D institutes. And we also help in indigenization of various defense technologies, which actually reduces our import dependence. Taking you through, I'll talk ever since the inception, we have engaged with more than 450 plus startups with a rapid prototyping time of 12 to 24 months, and we have enabled development of 50 plus cutting edge technologies. As a matter of an impact, we have acceptance of necessity of 37 items which are in pipeline of procurement worth rupees 2,300 crores have been envisioned for procurement. So when it comes to the features of IDEX, you can see various I's that have been mentioned, that is identifying the problem statement, innovating the solutions, incubate incubate along with the support and handholding, integration, that is rapid prototyping and testing, and with defense platform, and indigenization will be the features that is there in the IDEX framework. In the next slide, I have talked of the inception journey ever since 2018, what has happened to the entire IDEX framework, and how Aditi has been another feather in the flock with the recent launch in 2024. And here we have defined milestones such as the DISC and OC launch, which was there in 2018-2019, along with various DAP amendments which was proposed to strengthen the IDEX framework and for the ease of doing business thing. Then in the year 2021, PM Award for Excellence in Public Administration was also envisioned to DIO. And with the recent partnership with the US and the launch of Aditi 1, the results of Aditi 1 and the launch of Aditi 2, that has been the journey so far in the past 6 years. Into the further, I'd like to tell you that the scheme was approved for IDEX with 498.7 crores, and all the funds was used as a Spark grant, wherein we had Defense India Startup Challenge and the Open Challenges funding startups up to 1.55 crores, the IDEX Prime Challenge where the funding was up to 10 crores, and recently Aditi has been launched where the Spark grant has been increased to 25 crores. In the mode of application, the applications are invited from individual innovators, startups, and MSMEs with a concept of matching contribution so that they have their skin in the game. And the key enablement here so far has been the Pan India partner incubator network that IDEX have, the ease of application that IDEX has, and the IP rights of 100%, or the design rights with reference to the solution provided, that lies with the innovator. So this slide brings out the IDEX process as such, wherein the process begins with the problem curation and the diligence part, which involves the receiving of the problem statements, curation by IDEX, partner incubators, and the subject matter experts, and their launch, along with eligibility and document check in the phase 1, and phase 2 and 3 in the HPSC high-powered selection committee meeting for evaluation and compliance of the product specification that is expected out of the final solution. Then comes the techno-financial vetting of the project management unit, wherein the documents related to the IDEX framework is sought out and streamlined, and then the development phase begins with the contract signing, so that co-creation and co-development happens along with in the guidance of the end user as well as our partner incubator. Talking about numbers, we have actively engaged 350 plus Spark Grant agreement or contracts, what we call it, and we have more than 450 winners which have been declared. We have shortlisted over the span of 6 years, we have shortlisted more than 2,000 people for HPSC, and we have received more than 9,500 plus applications for our various challenges ever since the inception till date. So this is the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration that was presented to Innovations for Defense Excellence of the Department of Defense Production. This happened in the year 2021. Now, specifically talking of the thing that we are here for today is Aditi 2.0 challenge and the Defense India Startup Challenge 12th edition. I'll be talking of the IDEX application process. So Aditi 2.0 and the DISC 12 launch happened in the DefConnect event that happened earlier this month. And here in Aditi, we are expecting grants up to 25 crore will be given to develop 30 high-end critical and strategic technologies. Along with this, DISC 12 was also launched by our Honorable Raksha Mantri ji, which introduces a new domain, that is Medical Innovation and Research Advancement, that is MIRA initiative, with 9 challenges catering to the medical demands of armed forces. So this is something new that is coming along with DISC 12. Here is a short video of Aditi 2.0 launch. If there is any issue with the video, do let me know. Please do prompt. I'm playing the video. I suppose the video is loud and clear.
We are not able to get any audio on that.
Okay. I'll just play it again.
No audio.
Still no joy with the audio.
The landscape of defense in which you have
So I suppose
I
there's some.
think it was there, but it was very low.
Okay. So I'll just increase the volume.
Boundaries of excellence in defense technology, IDEX is accelerating Aatmanirbharta.
In the beginning, it was in some bits and pieces, but after that, there was no audio at all.
So this was the Aditi launch video. The second one is the Disk 12 launch that we're going to see in the next few minutes. So these were the two launch videos of Aditi 2.0 and the disc 12th edition. So recently, now we'll talk of the IDEX application process, and this is what you see on screen is the actual felicitation ceremony that has happened for the disc Aditi 1.0 IDEX winners. So you can see all of them across stage. This is available on our website. So if you go to the IDEX website, this is a schema that will be presented to you where you have the Aditi 2.0 challenges and the DISC 12 challenges. You can click on the apply now button. Then you will be presented for a login screen where you can actually register and create an account.
Not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
So I'll just repeat the entire IDEX application process. If you happen to visit our website for applying for any of these challenges, which I was talking in the presentation, so it happens, you will see this sort of challenge category under the resources where you will have Aditi 2.0 and DISC 12 challenges mentioned. You need to click on the apply button for the respective thing. You'll be taken to a login window where you can register and create with an email ID and password. You can enter into the dashboard. You can see what all challenges you have applied. You can upload the attachment and you can click on the action button and apply for the respective challenges which you wish to apply. You can add your pitch desk in the attachment category. So the form, in the application, the form will look like this. So here you have to indicate your details, where you are applying as what is the name of the person, what is the address, and what is the resume and the portfolio. For both DISC and Aditi problem statements. Some more additional information will be asked with reference to the respective challenges which needs to be filled. So that is the IDEX application process. So next I'll be enlightening something about the IDEX ecosystem where we have the pan-India partner net incubators coverage. Some of them are listed on your screen. Towards your right, you will see the pool of more than 500 crore plus in IDEX Investor Hub, which will be required, which can help you in your matching contributions. Next, when it comes to the nodal agencies that from which we receive problem statements, you have the 25 nodal agencies listed onto your screen, which includes Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, DPSUs, 16 of them, I4C, Defense Space Agency, BRO, MHA, Indian Coast Guard. There's some disturbance. I request everybody to be on mute so that you are able to hear me and everybody else on this meeting can hear me out. So we also have standing MOUs with banks and investors, which will help your the funding with reference to your project once you are on board with the IDEX ecosystem. That is mentioned in this IDEX association with financial institutes. Also, the ease of doing business have been facilitated with reference to various defense acquisition procedure amendments and streamlining. Ever since the inception, 3 times the amendments have happened specific to the IDEX framework. And even with the latest amendment, we have got the pilot procurement plan before we actually sign a Spark grant agreement with IDEX. And DPSUs have also been asked to align their procurement manual in line with these defense acquisition procedure amendments. So the third amendment, specifically talking of that, we have things like benchmarking and cost computation, the new payment schedule, the procurement reforms, and the transition from IDEX to Make One has been included. Now the impact or the outcome has been assessed in terms of the number of defense startup that has increased ever since inception. That is, as per the DPIIT data, in the beginning, you can see there are only 140 defense startups. So as for now, till March 2024, the data has reached a figure of 3,000. And you can see the number of applications which we have received over the past disks problems, that is from 700 to 9600 plus. So there has been a significant impact when it comes to the evolution of defense startup ecosystem, which has been unleashed with the IDEX framework. What? So in this slide, we have actually summarized the development journey so far. With reference to IDEX grants, we have committed more than 490 crores with the various 350 plus contracts that we have. And the total product development budget have reached a milestone of 1800 plus crores. Procurement order worth rupees more than 1000 crores have been placed for 27 products. And for this, inclusive of the AO and RFP stage, so we can say more than 2300 crore plus for 37 products have been taken away. So this is the positive impact that we have. Also in the recent past, we have been engaging with the US under the flagship of Indus X, which was launched in 2023 June. And joint challenges were launched, and that's how and they are being processed under the IDEX framework only. So over to our nodal Defense Space Agency nodal officer, Mr. Hari Prasad, who's there talking about the defense space challenges, and then we'll be open to questions. Hari Prasad, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll request to put the slides, please.
I'll just place your slides. Give me a few minutes. I'll just place the slide. Sir, you can go ahead. I suppose the screen is visible with reference to space weather package.
Yeah, visible.
Hari Prasad, sir, from Defense Space Agency.
Understood. Yeah, good afternoon to all. This challenge particularly about which I am going to talk is particularly about the development of space weather package, which consists of three things we are looking forward. That is in terms of sensors, processing and analyzing software, as well as thereafter, after analyzing all the data, we can go for we can receive actionable information to safeguard our assets. Next. Primarily, when I talk about space weather, that means the conditions or the environmental conditions which are prevailing in the space, and these conditions are governed by the sun. That means sun is the major source of all these activities which is happening in the free space. When you talk about in terms of weather activities, generally they affect 20 to 25 kilometers in the atmosphere or lower Earth part. But when you go about 100 kilometers, these are the conditions which affect our assets in terms of satellites which are placed at higher heights. So to safeguard these assets, we want to continuously monitor the activity over sun. That is in terms of what are the active regions, what are the sunspot regions, and how eruption is happening from sun traveling across the intra-planetary planetary region or intraplanetary space, and thereafter having the impact on our technology. Next, please. So when we speak about the sun, there are numerous activity which is happening over it. Few of them I've listed here in terms of sunspots, number, active regions, and thereafter eruption in terms of solar flares and CMEs. How they travel across the, after eruption, what's the intensity, and when they reach over our magnetosphere or ionosphere, how they manifest and how they are going to affect our satellites. So primarily to take the preventive measures or to take the proactive measures to safeguard our assets, either by switching off for time being or by putting them in a parking position, we can safeguard these assets against these adverse environmental conditions. So for that, we have to have a continuous monitoring systems or sensors. Primarily, when you speak about sensor, we are looking for the remote sensing as well as the sensors which can be integrated over the geostationary orbit primarily. And when eruption happens, then how these conditions will affect with what kind of intensity or severity to our assets, so we can take the mitigating measures. Next, please. So in this, we are looking for a continuous monitoring of sun activity, primarily the sunspot regions as well as the active regions over the sun, which are responsible for such kind of massive eruptions. And thereafter, these kind of eruptions manifest in three parts or three different ways they manifest over the Earth atmosphere. Either they lead to the radiation storm or solar storm or geomagnetic storm, because these solar flares and semis, when they travel, they carry a lot of magnetic field from the sun. So how this magnetic field affect our technology or our assets placed in the space? So how, what kind of advance notice we can get from occurrence of such activity from sun to till they reach our low Earth orbit, LEO phase. So we are looking for primarily for these areas. That means once they erupt, it may take 1 day or it may take 5 days. So how much advance notice we can get by continuous monitoring of these activity over sun surface? Next, please. So mainly we are looking for continuous observation. Thereafter, once activity is observed, how it travels, what the kind of, the speed it travels, and we can forecast for some kind of the arrival time at different heights. That means when I speak about geostationary orbit, how much time it will take to reach, and subsequently to LEO, what kind of impact we can have. So that kind of forecasting, if we have, then accordingly actions can be taken by the operators. When I say operators, people those who are involved in the operations. Next, please. With this, I have reached to the conclusion. That is, we are looking for the entire package in terms of analysis or observation, followed by analysis using the advanced algorithm, and thereafter generating the actionable information, alerts or flags. So if these three can be combined, then we term it under one head, that is space weather package. Thank you. I have completed from my side.
Yeah, any question any firm is having?
Sir, Rahul here from SB Technologies. So first question is, what are the minimum sensors with which you are? Do you have the minimum set of sensors?
Yeah, we are looking for a combination of around 4 to 5 sensors. When I say combination, that means one which is categorized under remote sensing part. That means the moment it erupts, somebody can monitor. The second, when it travels and manifests, during the manifestation, what happens, the speed varies or decreases sometimes it increases. So how they are going to manifest it, and when they impact on the higher heights, then what kind of intensity we are looking for. That means it's likely to have, or with what intensity it can impact our orbits. So primarily, one is what is the radiation type which is taking place. So initially, when eruption happens within 8 minutes, the first sign is seen over the geo orbit. After this 8 minutes of travel time, because the initial part travels with the speed of light, so after this 8 minutes, we have some inputs available at geostationary orbit, and then the major impact will come maybe after 1 day or 2 days. So we have a reaction time of 1 to 2 days, 8 times even 5 days, because it moves very slow. If the mass is very large, then it moves very slowly. So from first impact to the main impact, we are looking for a combination of 4 to 5 sensors to detect different activities, which consist of three things. That is, what is the radiation which is emitted, kind of radiation, it's X-ray, radio wave, gamma wave, and second is the kind of magnetic influence which is coming behind it, and third is the in terms of solar activity. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Hi, this
Alone
is
sensor cannot
Rahul,
detect
right?
everything.
Yeah, please
Okay,
go
with
ahead.
a single sensor, it is,
Please
yeah,
go ahead,
with a
Rahul.
single sensor, it's very difficult to detect entire activity. So we are looking for a multiple sensors, different kind of sensors. So collaborative information going to be more accurate in issue of forecast.
Sure, sure. I have a couple of questions. One question I have is like, when you're saying sensor platform, I'm assuming that the sensors are going to be placed in some sort of a satellite which is there, right?
Okay.
Or you,
Second.
so my question is like, the question is, which orbit you are assuming the satellite will be placed? Would it be placed in LEO or L1? Where you want the sensor package or the satellite to be placed? And what is the size you're expecting that satellite to have? Would it be 3U, 6U, 12U? Any ideas on those?
Right now, we are looking to place these sensors in geostationary orbit. So you can assume something like integrating these sensors with inside series of satellite.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, right now we are looking forward to place these sensors initially in the geostationary orbit. Okay, because if putting these sensors in L1 orbit will require a dedicated mission. So we are not looking for that. Right now we are looking for a integrating these sensors in the geostationary orbit. So any satellite which is going in the near future in geostationary satellite, geostationary orbit, we like to integrate with that satellite. That is the broad aim as of now.
So, if that is the case, then the challenge does not involve the creation of the satellite package itself. It's basically focusing on creating a set of sensors that will be hopefully mounted on a platform or a satellite that you will provide. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the reason the challenge itself says it's only sensors and the software part. That means the analyzing and the processing software. So it contains only two components. It does not contain the, you require GSLV, PSLV, or whatever is the launch vehicle, and it doesn't require a complete satellite from here because satellite will have some other sensors as well. So one of package is just out of this complete satellite system. We need to provide only one package, that is space weather sensors.
That's very good. So you mentioned about the satellite also, right? Like I missed the name of the satellite in the geostationary or the platform that is.
Yeah. No. I just gave a example like inside series of satellite are part of geostationary satellite. It may not possible to place in the inside only. I just gave an example. Okay, that kind of satellite where we can integrate these sensors. Okay.
No, that completely makes sense because just to give you a background, I worked at NASA Ames for 1 year and before, so I understand what you're saying, and it makes sense because if you just consider the Leo, I mean, Leo does not give you a warning. It does not give you too much of flexibility in terms of forecasting. So that's why I was asking L1. But the geostationary also makes sense, because if you have a satellite there, then you can place these things and you have some advanced warning that definitely could be very, very useful. Now, you mentioned the with sensor packages. Is there anything specifically you mentioned about the different things that are there, right? Something that will help us to do radiation, solar, and geomagnetic storm. Those are the three main things that you want to focus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I
So
say
there is no
so,
need for
you
any.
can, yeah, if I say so, you can just go through the literatures with respect to MTG satellites, that is Meteosat third generation launched by ESA, or you can find details about GOES 18 satellite. It is already in open domain, and we are looking
Can you
some
please
that kind
repeat
of
that? I mean,
sensors.
this is very. Can you please repeat this one? This is very valuable information. Yeah. Can you repeat the names of
Okay.
the platforms that I should look?
Okay, one is the space weather sensors integrated on MTG, Meteosat third generation. MTG, Meteosat third generation. This is launched by ESA. Okay.
ESA. So
And
you want that
another
sensor
platform.
package or capability of?
No, not exactly that. I'm just giving the reference point. Please do not go by word that we, okay. It's just the reference, okay, which is already placed in geostationary orbit.
Sure.
Second is launched by NASA itself, that is GOES series of satellite, GOES. So that is geostationary operational environmental satellite. So you can just refer the space weather sensors placed on those platforms, because both are in geostationary orbit, and we are also looking for a similar kind of thing, something in that line.
Sure. That's
Sir, are we going to be
good.
sorry? Yeah, so are we going to be replacing some module which is already there, or this is going to be like a new capability for the INSAT satellites?
This going to be the first of its kind in India. The worldwide, yes, there are certain observations and things are already happening, but in India, it will be a first of its kind. So we are looking for the future technology.
And one more question I have is, like, when the initial processing is happening, you want some processing capability on the satellite itself, and you want to send data after processing there, or you just want the data just to be transmitted from there to the ground station?
We are looking for both. Okay, when there is a certain threshold which crosses, then definitely onboard a generation of alerts we are looking for, like what we have in Aditi 2.0. Okay, something like that, where the calculation itself takes place quickly and in a shortest possible manner. I get the input when there is a very, very limited reaction time. But when there is a reaction time of 1 to 2 days, definitely I'd like to process entire data on ground, and definitely I like to inform more actionable, information which can be used to safeguard our assets.
Right, because Aditya L1 is pretty far away, so the latency is very high. So, sir, one more question. How much is the power budget for this kind of a module?
That IDEX team, I hope, will able to.
So, because on the satellite, it will sit on the satellite, right? So the power will be limited to the module. So is there a limit of, within this much amount of power one has to work, because a part of it, the sensor package will be going on the satellite.
Okay.
So,
okay. You are talking about that power supply or the capacity, correct?
Yes.
It will be whatever sensors required, it will be available sufficiently, because these things will be catered by integrator who is going to integrate everything with the existing payload plus this payload. So this requirement can be catered and as of now I don't have the detail about it, but we'll come back to you on this aspect, how much power actually all these equipment requires, because
Okay,
they
sir.
depend on design and its capability, size, and what pixel you are looking for and how much scan time you are looking for. So all these factors can be taken subsequently.
Right. And sir, one more thing. If we want to integrate with some current existing sensors on the satellite, is that a possibility, or we have to bring in whatever sensors we require within our own package?
No, I didn't get. Please repeat the question.
Sir, just 1 second. Sir, what I'm asking is that, we if we require to, inset already has got a set of, sensors on board. If we want to integrate and use those sensors, is that a possibility, or everything has to be packaged within our module, what we require for this kind of an analysis?
No. Your package will be integrated with the overall package what we have other plan. Okay, so it's just one part of that.
Right.
Your module has to fit in the overall plan.
So basically, are you saying that we can use existing sensors on inset satellite? Like, for example, obviously this is going to be part of the new satellites that you are going to launch. So within that, assume that there are some sensors already there on inset which are for use for other things, for other monitoring and other things. Can we integrate with the data received on those sensors? Can we receive that data also?
Yes. You can integrate with this because finally telemetry will be at one point.
Okay, sir.
So Rahul, you can so all the participants can propose different case scenarios as per their understanding, and the final specifications and all will be shared once someone has been selected. Okay, and the specific requirement will be shared afterwards. So as per current based understanding of the scenario, you can propose your solutions accordingly. Once you are selected, then the exact specification will be given to you. Fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Dhrumat. Okay.
On the problem statement? So any other question from the IDEX framework part that we presented?
Sir, one question is that for each of the sensor, can we get the limits of sensing? So what should be the on both sides, the lowest and highest end, what are the limits that we're expected to sense? Example for magnetic.
Will be defined once as we keep interacting in subsequent parts. So these things will be defined and will be said in due course of time.
Okay. And when we say continuous monitoring, so let us say that for example, it is a magnetic data. Okay, so we extracted the magnetic data and telemetry. So next data we are going to receive, let us say after a few, certain frequencies. So typically in these kind of applications, how frequently we want to get the data? Is it like every second 5 records, or like, in any judgment on that you can give?
It depend upon the kind of activity which is happening at there. If sun is quiet and it's the regular things are going on, I may process the data at 10 minutes. Okay. Or I may process the data even at 15 minutes. But if something is going to affect me right now and the storm is approaching in next half an hour to 1 hour, and if that broad prediction is there, definitely I like to have more frequent updates. Okay, so these all things will be said in the detailed project requirements subsequently, and it depends upon the situation. Are you closer to storm or are you in the normal scenario?
Okay. And
so
sir,
accordingly, we should be able to give command to sensors, and sensors should accordingly able to move the data.
Okay. And sir, the challenge mentions about ability to detect, let us say, radiation storm, solar storm, geomagnetic storm. But sensing parameter wise, is it that it translates one to one? That means, okay, let us say one magnetic sensor and one radiation sensor, or what we detect, what we intend to detect is three things, but what parameters or the sensing parameters we are looking for is still something to be derived from this.
Yeah, some parameters are derived one and some parameters are direct one. In terms of magnetic field light, it's the direct parameter. Something we have to, the magnetic field reaches much later part, but the first when eruption happens over the sun disk or sun surface, first thing like you have some, imaging sort of technology which immediately give you the eruption part. So instantaneously you receive the information, and when it travel from sun to earth atmosphere, it takes some time. So then how it manifests, so it is a mix of both kind of things. It's derived, direct, and remote sensing as well.
Okay, okay. And sir, these sensors, like they are exposed to what kind of environmental conditions? So let us say within satellite, wherever you put it.
For this, you can refer whatever I told, the satellites as well are on Aditi L1. Okay, so the space environment is same. If you ask me, in geostationary orbit, it's the satellite belongs to European Agency or NASA or ISRO or Defense Space Agency. It doesn't make the difference because environmental condition by and large same. So you can just have the reference of those series of satellite GA, MTG or Aditi L1.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. This is Siddesh Naik. My question is more on what happens post-deployment of solution. If you could throw some light in terms of what's your procurement plan in terms of, one, the sensors, the number of sensors. Second is, for the software solution, is it going to be like annual licensing fee or anything of that sort? Because this is an Aditi challenge and requires a significant investment. If you could give us some idea about post-solution deployment, that will really help us. Thank you.
The detail, I think, is still we need to work out. But of course, with the upgradation of, it will be one of the input to our ops room, okay, where we have the multiple things going on. So this is one of the input which we'll be providing to operational fellows to take the corrective measures to safeguard the asset. So definitely with the upgradation of things in the ops room, we definitely require the upgradation in your software as well. And so I think these things we can work out later once.
To be clear, once
Rahul, I'll interrupt from IDEX. So it all depends on the way you develop it and what time you take to actually get this through with the nodal agency and their requirements.
That's fair.
Much is dependent on that. The deployment stage will be basically dependent on the timeline that you'll be able to successfully develop it.
Fair. So if you take some assumptions in terms of timelines, my question again was very specific. Will the PDS address the MOQ issue?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Aditi challenges, there is already a pilot quantity that has been approved and has come to us. So once you win the challenge and you are developing it for defense space through Aditi IDEX framework, you will be handholded with all those things, all those information. This is the best information we can provide right now in the public domain, where there are so many people listening to us.
Thank you. I appreciate that answer. Thank you.
Any further questions? Any other questions related to respective challenge of Defense Space Agency or the IDEX framework? Please go ahead.
Just on the IDEX application process, it was showing about the resume and the portfolio. So is it the resume of the founder, and what do you mean by portfolio exactly?
Portfolio, if you are applying for an individual innovator, it will be something that is individual centric. When it comes to a startup or an MSME, what sort of business are you doing? You can actually bring out your business analytics over the past since inception of yours. That is something that you need to provide us in the pitch desk.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
So
please
can
go
we
ahead.
have a quick, sir, can we have a quick recap of the application process?
Sure, I'll do that before I end.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. So can I ask you a question from challenge number 10? That is different challenge because you talked about only this weather package.
What is the challenge related to? Is it related to a defense space agency where our nodal officer will be answering it, or it is something
It
some
is
other nodal
problem
agency, please?
statement 10.
Uh,
Problem statement 10, Indian Navy.
Different.
since it is a different agency, I request you to submit a query on the IDEX website so that it can be taken up with the respective nodal agency. Okay.
Okay.
And wait for and continuously get update from social handle of IDEX and wait for that particular outreach.
Okay.
So as requested, I'll do a quick recap of the IDEX application process. Again, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Would this be the right forum to ask questions about problem statement 17, which is OMR? It is a DSA challenge as well.
No.
I suppose you can ask, but whether our nodal officer present here would be able to answer it, I'm not very sure. So it is better that you actually write it to us in the and then we'll get it resolved through IDEX website.
Any query, ma'am, any query related to space weather package, I'll able to handle. But anything other than that, please write to DIU. They will forward it to concerned nodal officer. Thank you.
Madam. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a query. Like while applying for the challenge, what all details are to be provided? I mean, do we have a specific format in which we have to give our solution? How detailed it should be? Do we have some broad idea about all this, ma'am?
When it comes to the application process, your pitch should include basic things like what is the proposed solution you are giving for the problem statement asked. You should basically have a budgetary analysis, cost benefit analysis of how much will be actually invested in, how that funds will be managed by the respective startup or MSME. Third thing would be what is the timeline that you'll be proposing so that this prototype development can happen.
Okay,
And also
ma'am.
in the course of journey, you should come up with questions like what are things are expected. You have your expectations with the reference to the nodal agency and the partner incubator so that they can be tackled.
Okay, and ma'am,
Any
what
other sort
about
of information or any other thing? Okay.
Ma'am, there is a small query also. What type of technical details are expected while applying?
It depends on the challenge that you're applying for.
Okay.
So suppose a problem statement can be solved by one technology. So you need to write and briefly explain that technology. If a problem statement you think would be solved by, let's say, a combination of two or more technologies, or let's say three technologies, then you have to actually elucidate how are you going to solve it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So I'll just run through the application process as requested before I officially call it as a closure. Sharing my screen once again.
Ma'am, you are not audible to me.
I have questions regarding medical innovation. Should I ask it later on?
Am I audible? I just lost connection in between. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes, you
you
ma'am.
are.
are.
Now you're audible.
Redo the IDEX application process as requested by somebody who has joined from the Flux ID.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am, question regarding the medical devices will be taken later on, or there going to be some presentation about it?
Belaji, what reservation are you talking of?
Medical devices, ma'am.
So if you develop a medical device, there is a need and there'll be a procurement that will be happening. It will be procured through one of our nodal agency.
Right, ma'am. So because devices are a big or very expanded field, so any specific thing that or any specific criteria, if you can help us with?
Please check our IDEX website. You'll be
Okay.
able to see what are those challenges, where the challenge category is there.
Sure. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So you're able to see the screen, my screen visible with the IDEX
Yes,
application
ma'am.
process?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So in this one category of Mira also will be there. So you can go to
Okay,
those
ma'am.
challenges with reference to your medical devices. So I'll talk of briefly before we close of the IDEX application process. Once you go to the website, in the challenges tab, you will have the challenge categories where all the disk open challenge and the Aditi challenges will be listed. You have to click on the apply now button for the respective case statement, and then you'll be taken to a login window where you can register, create an account with an email and a password, and you'll be introduced to this dashboard wherein you can actually upload your attachments and your problem solutions, which with reference to your respective disk or Aditi challenge, or for that matter any other challenge that is ongoing. So this sort of a dashboard with reference to your case will be visible. Specific to Aditi 2.0 and disk 12th edition, you'll have a form that needs to be filled in with reference to your challenge. That is, we'll be asking you these mandated tabs, including your name, phone number, which challenge you want to apply, your resume and your portfolio, along with the proposed solution and your MSME certificate. So here only, as I have answered already, when it comes to the product development time and the budget, you should have a very fair idea of what you're developing, in how many months you will be developing it, and what is the funding expected and how are you going to manage it. So this is quite clear when it comes to what is expected of the pitch. Next is the same with reference to the Defense India Startup Challenge 12th edition. Same things are asked. You can actually upload all the PDFs. and submit your application. Your application will be visible in the respective dashboard of what all challenges you have applied. Is the process clear for somebody who has asked?
Yes, ma'am. Process is clear, but ma'am, like in portfolio and resume, what we need to provide? Like portfolio, we have a
You're
company,
not
so
audible.
everything about.
You're not audible. You're not audible.
While we wait for her, maybe one question. There was a field about matching contribution on that skin in the game thing. Uh,
Yes.
now, where do we get that from? I mean, if we don't have it ourselves, like any idea who do we reach out to?
Actually, there are different ways where this matching contribution is expected out of your own funds. First of all, it cannot be any other grant which would be used for this fund. So if you are running a company, it could be through venture capitalist or your angel investors or through your personal business loans or something of that sort, or
Mhm.
your capital infusion from the respective firm.
And it has to be exactly the same amount as the fund requested.
So if you want your question is not specific. Can you please repeat?
No, so there were like two fields, right? One is the fund requested, and the other was the matching fund that you will put, or something like that.
So
So
when
my
you fill
question,
the IDEX form, if you are having a matching contribution of let's say 100 rupees, so you can always fill the spark grant amount as 25 rupees and you can develop the product in 125 rupees. No issues on that.
oh,
It
okay,
it should be at least half of it. So
okay,
you
got
cannot expect ki you will bring matching contribution of 25 rupees and you will be paid 26 rupees as a spark grant.
it,
It
got
will
it.
be equally paid. It should be equal.
Clear. Thanks.
Application process is cleared. And
Yes,
one
please.
more thing, ma'am, like if we have a with portfolio, in portfolio, what all things we need to input in
It is
to.
specifically dependent on you, what all things you want to put in. You can put up a summary of your progress report in the past years of working or ever since inception. You can put up your core competency. You can put up your SWOT analysis. It's
Okay,
totally
okay.
up to you. We have not restricted the format because we wanted it to be flexible.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing. While we are applying on open challenge, it is showing database error from past 5th October till now. So,
You wanted to apply open challenge. Okay.
ma'am, we want to apply in open challenge as well and the disk 12 challenge.
So please do take it up separately with the IDEX team in the queries. You will be helped with.
Ma'am, actually, I have put multiple queries on the platform, but I was not reverted back. That's why I'm asking over here.
So since I have not seen this queries, I'll not be the best person to answer.
May I know any email ID where I can mail and
You
check?
can actually find it out on the website. Please
Sure,
write
sure.
to uh, respective person. ठीक है?
Okay, 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 ma'am. Done. Thank you.
I think we've reached the end of the session today. It was great having all of you here, and yes, Abhay, please go ahead.
Ma'am, actually, we are going to apply for the Aditi challenge, but until and unless we don't have any exact requirement what they want in the problem statement, how we can estimate the budget or the technical things done.
So, Abhay, you are interested in which of the challenge?
Aditi 2.
Aditi, to which challenge? Which nodal
Uh,
agency are you developing it for?
uh, for the
So, as
adaptive.
already I have indicated in the previous question is, you need to be active on the web social media handles and see when that specific nodal agency people are called, and you can actually have a discussion with them and get your doubts cleared. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Because
fine.
when it comes to public domain, Abhay, one thing to understand would be कि many of the information with reference to defense cannot be disseminated just like that. There needs to be an NDA. And with having all of you here, I suppose in this meeting, when we began, there were more than 40 participants.
Yeah.
And right now, there are 43 participants. So, whatever information was apt for public domain so that we can better reach out to you with reference to the problem statement, we have already disseminated. Anything apart from it, please take up separately in the query section. I suppose the query handling team will reach out to you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Again, it was great having you interacting with all the
I have a
people.
question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Since I joined late, I just wanted to understand few more things that is related to the problem statement space weather itself, which is, are we looking at the software solution in this, or is there any hardware involved?
Yeah, I'll just repeat once again. Primarily,
Yeah,
we
so
are looking for the sensors followed by the, after receipt of data, the analyzing as well as the info or alert or flag generating software too. That means it has to have two components. One is the sensors part, that is hardware part, and second is
okay.
the software part, both.
Okay, so the outcome of this problem statement is both hardware and software. So
Yeah.
I just need to understand, is there any specified number of sensor from the nodal agency itself that they wanted to be integrate, or I mean, I just don't know about the numbers of sensors needs to be there. So is there any specified numbers from the nodal agency?
Yeah, I have clarified this question earlier too. Again, I'll repeat it. We are looking for the combination of 4 to 5 sensors. And for the reference purpose, you can go through the literatures available in open domain with respect to Aditi L1, as well as MTZ satellite, that is Meteosat third generation, launched by ESA, European Space Agency, as well as the GOES 18, which is the latest satellite launched by NASA or NOAA. So these kind of sensors are already, available and working. But in India, as we do not have this capability, so we want to develop it.
Sure, sir. So, sir, when we say about that, we need
You can take Akash, you can take further to the query section and you'll be responded. Okay. So since we've already had the discussion, so I just you can further give us the queries that you have, and we'll the queries team will handle it from here. Okay, Akash.
Yeah, sure. What
So
will be the
it was nice interacting with all of you. Thanks a lot for joining on this session that we are outreaching for the Aditi 2.0 challenges and the recently launched this 12th edition. And thanks a lot for the time from the nodal officer as well, Mr. Hari Prasad ji. Thanks a lot for your information with reference to the inputs on the space-based challenges. I wish you all the best. Do apply for all the challenges which are enlisted. And if you have any other query, please update yourself with reference to the IDEX social media handle. And whensoever you have the respective nodal agency and the domain challenge being highlighted, please do raise your questions. Please do join those outreach sessions. We'll be having a couple of them before actually the process ends. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.